Huntly Castle, situated in Aberdeenshire, is one of Scotland's most ruined strongholds, embodying both the architectural ambitions and political fortunes of the Gordon family. The castle was built on the crossing of two rivers, north of Huntly and roughly 40 miles from Aberdeen. The original wooden castle was built on a motte. The second castle, made of stone, was built on the northern end of the bailey. The third and modern castles were built to the east of the original, at the southern end of the estate. The Earls of Fife built the original castle, the wooden motte and bailey, around 1190, to guard the crossing point where the rivers meet. But it was the mighty Gordons who made the stronghold their own in the 1300s. As chiefs of Clan Gordon and holders of the earldom of Huntly, the family played a decisive role in Scottish politics from the 15th to 17th centuries. Their seat at Huntly Castle was not merely a residence, but also a potent symbol of power, prestige, and shifting alliance in the turbulent era of Scottish history. The Gordons rose to prominence in the 14th century when Sir Adam Gordon's descendants secured land to the northeast of Scotland. Their fortunes were dramatically increased through marriage alliances. This is a period in history where people were not married for love, but for practical and strategic reasons. Marriage, often arranged by families to secure political alliances, strengthen social status, or gain economic advantage through dowries, land and property. For noble families, a daughter's marriage could mean forging peace between rival houses or expanding influences across regions, while among merchants and commoners, it could help secure wealth and stability. Romantic love was rarely the foundation of marriage. Instead, it was seen as a duty that served family honour and survival. Love, if it appeared, was more likely to develop after marriage or to be pursued outside of it through the ideals of courtly love expressed in poetry and song. And this was the case where Sir Adam Gordon married Elizabeth, daughter of the Earl of Huntly, around 1408. This marriage brought the barony to Huntly into Gordon's hands and laid the foundation for their future family. By 1440, Alexander Gordon was created the first Earl of Huntly by James II, cementing the family's position among the greatest in Scotland. The Gordons' power extended beyond landholding. They were indispensable allies and occasional adversary to the crown. Their loyalty was only pragmatic, shaped by the politics of late medieval Scotland. In 1452, for example, the second Earl of Huntly joined the rebellion of the Douglas family against James II, prompting the king to order the destruction of Huntly Castle. Despite such setbacks, the Gordons' strategic marriages, military strength, and dominance over the northeast endured their continued prominence. The Gordons' power was expressed materially in the rebuilding and establishment of Huntly Castle. By the late 16th and early 17th century, the castle had developed into a hybrid structure, part fortress, part palace. The stonework carved above the main entrance proclaims Gordon's status in visual terms as much as written charters might do in legal ones. Latin inscriptions such as "Lord is my strength," "Lord is my fortress," project both purity and authenticity, while the carvings of arms and initials were calculated reminders of Gordon's lineage. The interior of the castle, too, reflected the Gordons' ambition. The Great Hall provided space for hospitality on a grand scale, reinforcing the Gordons' reputations. Meanwhile, domestic improvements such as larger kitchens, private chambers indicated their embrace of the Renaissance ideals of comfort and refinement, distinguishing Huntly from older, purely defensive strongholds. In the 16th and 17th century, the Gordons' political influence increasingly integrated with Scotland's religious upheaval. Unlike many other noble houses, the Gordons remained committed to being Catholic after the Reformation in 1560. This stance often placed them in opposition to the Protestant Scottish crown. George Gordon, the 6th Earl of Huntly, involved in plots to restore Catholic belief and at times acted in alliance with Mary, Queen of Scots. Later, during the reign of King James VI, the Gordons' Catholic sympathies led to periods of hostility, yet their regional power base ensured their survival. The castle itself bore the scars of these conflicts. It was besieged and occupied several times, notably during the civil wars of the 17th century, when the Gordons supported the royalist cause. Ultimately, the family's fortune waned in the wake of the failed Jacobite rising in the 18th century, after which Huntly Castle was abandoned and allowed to fall into ruin. Imagine at dawn, where the castle stirs to life, its great courtyard filled with the sound of hooves and clashing steels. Knights, trained beneath the watchful gaze of the squires, their swords striking sparks as servants hurried past with baskets of bread still warm from the ovens. The great hall smelled of wood smoke and roasted meat, where lords and ladies broke their fast at long oak tables, their laughter echoing against the vaulted ceilings. Beyond, the lady of the castle oversaw her women, while the stewards collected rents and grain owned by the peasants labouring in the fields below the walls. Tucked away in a high stone tower was the council chambers, a private room where the lord and his advisers gathered. It was here that the battles were planned, alliances forged, and betrayals whispered, far from the ears of those who served below. To an outsider, the castle was a place of order, discipline and power, a fortress of stone and ceremony. For peasants, the looming fortress was both a symbol of safety and power, offering protection during raids, but also served as a reminder of their place beneath the nobility. Yet, behind these feasts and ceremonies, the castle walls hid shadows, dungeons where prisoners languished in darkness, secret passages whispered about by servants, locked rooms no one entered anymore. The stones of the castle, silent and cold, may still remember screams that never reached the courtyard. William Mackintosh, the 15th chief of Clan Mackintosh, took part in regional power struggles in the mid-16th century. Around 1547, he supported Reformation ideals, putting him at odds with George Gordon, Earl of Huntly. Huntly stripped him of his deputy lieutenant post and transferred land to a rival, Lachlan Mackintosh of Connaught, who accused William of plotting to kill Huntley. William was arrested and put on trial in Aberdeen in August 1550. William was found guilty, and on August the 23rd, 1550, he was executed by beheading at Huntley Castle, reportedly carried out on the orders of Elizabeth Keith, Countess of Huntley. The most chilling tales belongs to George Gordon, the 5th Earl of Huntley. In October 1576, the proud Earl was playing football in the castle grounds when he suddenly collapsed, wrecked with violent shivers. Witnesses claimed he vomited thick black bile before dying in agony. His body was carried into his chambers and the doors locked, but the horror was only beginning. Mourners who gathered outside his room soon felt the same icy tremors seized their bodies. Some fell to the ground in terror before staggering back to life. As the night wore on, strange sounds seeped from behind the Earl's locked door, groans, shuffling footsteps, and a low moaning as if someone or something still lingered within. No one dared to open the door. Others speak of a woman's ghost, forever trapped in sorrow, weeping softly in the castle's dark chambers. Visitors describe hearing her sobs drifting up from the dungeons, a heartbroken sound carried through the stones. Some believe she was a prisoner. Others believe she was a noblewoman whose love or life was cruelly taken within these walls. And then there is a soldier, an armoured figure seen pacing the grand hall or standing guard near the ruined entrance. His heavy footsteps and the faint clatter of metal echo through the night. Though no flesh and blood man is ever found when the sound is followed. It is easy, perhaps, to dismiss such stories as trick of the imagination, shadows dancing in the firelight, or the wind singing through the hallowed stones. But Huntley Castle is steeped in violence, betrayal and loss. Its very stones have soaked up centuries of blood and grief. Whether it is the restless spirit of the earth, the weeping phantom of women, or the soldier who refuses to leave his posts, the ghosts of Huntley Castle remain part of this enduring mystery. And so, if you find yourself wandering the ruins at dusk, tread softly, because some say the castle does not belong only to the living. Huntley Castle today stands as a monument to the Gordons' rise and decline. Its ruined walls encapsulate not only the architecture or evolution from medieval stronghold to a Renaissance-style palace, but also the political and religious struggles that defined Scotland in the late medieval and early modern-day periods. For the Gordons, Huntley was more than a residence. It was a stage upon which their power was displayed and contested and eventually diminished. In this sense, the castle remains a vital, primary source for the understanding of the intersection of nobility, architecture and politics in Scottish history. And that brings us to the end of our journey through Huntley's Castle long and dramatic history. A story of grandeur, power, betrayal and survival. If you enjoyed exploring the good and dark sides of this incredible ruin, don't forget to like the video, Leave a comment with your thoughts and your favourite part of Huntley's Pass. And of course subscribe for more deep dives into history. And if you'd like to go even further in supporting the channel, consider becoming a member where you'll get early access to videos. Thank you for watching, and until the next time, stay safe.